I like drinking water, but unlike most people I do not drink water orally. Whenever I feel the notion to intake hydrogen carbon dioxide, I first sit down and count to 1000. Then I slap myself viciously in my facial area around 7 times. Then I proceed to the sink and attach a special funnel to the tap and attach my nostril to the bottom of the funnel. I then blast the tap on full power and try to intake as much hydrogen carbon dioxide as possible until I start to produce myself into a choking style state. I find this to be the most practical way of intaking hydrogen carbon dioxide. I think people who intake hydrogen carbon dioxide orally must be mentally challenged. Excuse me, but I'm talking. How dare you even consider speaking whilst I am present? I do not consider myself to be talented because talent is something restricted only to carbon-based life forms, and I am far too intellectually advanced to be even considered human. In my spare time I like to practice my metamorphic abilities. When that becomes too mundane, I like to recite dead ancient languages by memory. I have completed the internet. I can read hieroglyphics like it is my first language. I see no need to write a CV because it is too boring. I can play two-player video games with myself using two controllers controlling two characters simultaneously. In my younger days I would often study Pythagoras for personal amusement and laugh for hours on end to myself at its simplicity. I can program C++ using my toes. I once dug a hole into the ground until I reached China. I once teleported to the moon. It was rather lovely there. I was born with a second pair of lungs that intake dark matter and produce it into oxygen so I can survive in space indefinitely. Saturn is rather delightful this time of year. I do not have the currency to build a rocket ship because I do not acknowledge currency, because that would require currency having power over my survival. To project myself into space I would normally just naturally levitate. I am not bound by the laws of gravity. The laws of gravity are bound by me. I can turn my head around 360 degrees like an owl. I think I was born with this ability to detect the hordes of beautiful women who, when in my presence, try to bound me by marital means. I can comprehend the incomprehensible. What if people with autism are actually productions of evolution and the neurotypicals are old news? I can program my own brain. I can breathe whilst underwater when my brain temperature is at the acceptable level and not thinking too hard because that would cause mass evaporation. I can physically evaporate and reappear at will. I can play chess and defeat any opponent with my eyes closed. It is not even a challenge. I would probably let you beat me out of pure kindness. I have mastered every human ability known to mankind for no reason at all. My preferred beverage is salt water. If I am attending a motion picture I would normally sit right at the front whilst wearing several top hats stacked on top of each other. I must do this for my own safety due to my fibromyalgia. I suffer from extreme intelligitis and it is a total social hindrance, but I am cool with it. When leaving my private abode I normally wear 10 pairs of shoes. This is not difficult. I wear them similarly to how Russian dolls are packaged. I can fight and defeat any carbon-based opponent with one hand behind my back, standing on one leg with a blindfold on. It is actually so easy that it causes me severe depression. I once had a fist fight with John Wayne. It did not go too well for him. Everything I say is totally and absolutely factual. I do not understand the concept of taking the piss. Why would one traverse with the sole purpose and intention of attaining the substance of urine? That does not make any comprehensible sense to me at all. Boom shaka laka, boom shak laka, boom shaka laka, word to your mother.